Well, it looks like you motherfuckers over here on the True Crime channel get a bonus video, because I have had people want to know my opinion on the Crumbley case and the fact that the mother was found guilty for this little ugly motherfucker's murders. I'm JBgunner. This is Crime Time. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's do it.
Bring it back.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This case has me like really in the middle, on the fence, right? And I'll explain more to this because I think this could be problematic. I think this could be an issue, but I also think the other way in some ways. We'll talk about it. I'm JBgunner. This is Crime Time. Before we get into this, I'm going to say first and foremost, thank you to everybody that supports the channel. Any of my channels, regardless of platform and regardless of method you use, whether it's Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, PayPal. Truth is, I couldn't do this each and every day as often as I do if it wasn't for you, the Gun Squad. This is why I don't have to care about views. I can be controversial. I can say what the fuck I want, because you people pay me to be able to do that. So thank you to the Gun Squad. It's really funny because I was arguing with another YouTuber who was talking about views and shit earlier, and I'm like, bro, if you live off AdSense, bro, you're broke as shit. You're broke as shit. I'm just calling it like it is. You got to be able to diversify this type of revenue. You got to be able to diversify this shit, whether it's through merch, sponsorships, any of that, right? But anyways, whatever. Because you get to arguing with a lot of people. I don't even know why I respond to comments, to be perfectly honest. A lot of you guys are noobs at this YouTube shit, but it's just funny to me. It's just hilarious to me. But anyway, if you two find my content valuable, feel free to hit those links, support the channel. Appreciate every last one of you. But let's go ahead and jump into this, because you guys want the story when it comes to Ethan Crumbley, Jennifer Crumbley. Jennifer Crumbley, for you guys, first of all, let me break this down. Ethan Crumbley is a school shooter. This little retarded motherfucker sitting right next to me, right here on the picture. Look, man, I don't know how many of you guys have raised kids, but no matter how well you raise kids, sometimes the kids end up being little fuck faces. They're going to do what they're doing, because you got to realize, once you let them go and they go out to school, not only are they getting liberal indoctrination, but they're also getting fuckery indoctrination from the other kids around them. So no matter what kind of morals you install into your children, those morals could be undone by the people around them when they're not inside your home. That is a reality. That is the truth behind raising children. So I don't like none of these little ugly motherfuckers. Not a single one. But let's go ahead and get to this, all right? Jennifer Crumbley, jury foreperson, reveals what sealed the fate of Michigan school shooter's mom as she's convicted of involuntary manslaughter. We'll go to this first. We'll go ahead and get to the news, because you guys know Ethan Crumbley's mom. So for you, in case you didn't know, Ethan Crumbley signed the plea. He said he killed the kids. Obviously, he's got life in prison. But they charged the parents. They charged the parents for his actions. Now, here's the thing. I've never agreed with other people being charged with the actions of another person. However, I don't like some of you goddamn parents. I deal with, whether it be single moms or things like this, that are way too lenient on their children. I believe in being a disciplinarian. Yeah, I've actually been criticized several times over my YouTube career and life because I believe in being a disciplinarian. I believe that's what the father should be. And I believe that whether it's letting them get in the fridge and make messes and all this shit anytime they want, or have the freedom to have a firearm, which I never think is good for a child, and I'm pro-gun all the way. I don't think that letting these little emotional emo motherfuckers, especially of today's generation, have access to anything is a good idea. I myself, as a grown-ass 6'1", fucking 300-pound, damn near 43-year-old man, even I worry slightly about children around me, because you never know what's going through their brains, particularly teenage boys. You never know when they're just going to snap and kill some motherfuckers. And I think a lot of it has to do with their upbringing, but I don't think all of it has to do with their upbringing. I believe you personally can raise a child almost precisely perfect. Take them to church, do all that good shit, but then what'll happen is they'll rebel later, and then they'll blame you because you didn't let them rebel before that. Have you ever seen that? When a parent is really good with children, And then later on, when the kid lashes out and rebels, they'll blame the parent and say, well, the parent sheltered them. The parent took too good care of them. The parent watched the micromanage the children. That's our job, is to micromanage the children. That is your job, is to control the children. You ever heard a person say, you can't control the kids? Yeah, you can. That's your job. That's the whole job of a parent, is to control and manipulate the children into trying to raise them into what your vision of a good kid is, which everybody typically agrees. But the kids themselves, you never know what's going in their head, and you never know when they're going to be rebellious. You never know when the friends and families and teachers at school are going to convince them to be rebellious in whatever way against you, the parents. It's reality. Now, I still don't believe necessarily that parents should be charged for the actions of their kid. Now, where this case is a little bit different is because they handed the kid a firearm. But here's the thing. Kids his age has been handed firearms since the beginning of time. You hear what I'm saying? You go back 100, 200, 300 years, or 100 years, whatever, kids were out hunting with their dad. Kids had firearms, particularly in the South, particularly in rural areas. Kids have firearms all the time, so I don't necessarily think that that's the answer. I don't blame guns like a lot of you libtards do. I blame the actions of the individual. So I believe truly that blaming the parents, locking up the parents, arresting the parents, charging the parents sets a bad precedent. So what happens next? If the kids if the kids skip school, charge you with truancy. What happens next? If your dumbass little son goes out there and rapes somebody, you get charged with rape? Because that little dumb motherfucker was going through some sort of mental retardation childhood crisis? Man, I don't know if I buy this shit. I don't know if I like this shit at all.
Now reporting, David Muir.
Good afternoon. We're coming on the air at this hour because a jury has reached a verdict in the unprecedented trial of a mother charged in connection with her son's deadly high school shooting in Oxford, Michigan. You're looking at live pictures right now. This is the first of its kind case in the country. Jennifer Crumbley facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter after her son Ethan Crumbley opened fire at his high school in 2021, killing 4 classmates using the gun his parents had bought for him.
And by the way,
they have just asked the court.
I want to make this clear. I don't like Jennifer Crumbley. Jennifer Crumbley's a complete whore that was cheating on her husband, cared more about dick than raising her son. I believe maybe at the very most she should have been charged with neglect of a dependent. I think that's what you charge bad parents with. If they neglected the child, then you charge them with neglect. I don't believe that you charge a parent with murder or killing someone if the kid kills someone or rapes someone. You don't charge the parent with rape unless they planned and took part in the crime. I just don't. Listen, I'm not defending Jennifer Crumbley at all. I think she's a fat, yogurt-filled fat bitch. Cheating whore. That's exactly what I think of Jennifer Crumbley. 1,000%. But man, I'm not buying this, man. I'm not buying this at all. Because what happens if you're a parent that does... Let me just say this. What happens if one parent's the disciplinarian and one parent isn't? And so the one that's not a disciplinarian lets the child run wild and do some stupid shit? So what if dad's at work? Dad's the disciplinarian. Mom's a fucking goofy fat whore with jelly oozing out of her fucking nipples. That type of fat bitch. And she's so busy doing her thing that she neglects the child. The child does something illegal. The child gets caught. So you're going to arrest both the mom and the dad? The dad wasn't there. He was gone to work. This makes no sense to me. None. It sets a dangerous precedent for parenting in America. But that's what they want. Remember MSNBC told you, the kids aren't yours anymore. They're all of ours, the collective. That's what they're trying to do. It's more of an attempt to destroy the nuclear family. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is.
To rise, the judge Cheryl Matthews back in the court, the jury entering that courtroom.
And yes, somebody should have, one of them parents should have beat this little ugly motherfucking retarded sack of shit's ass. That's what should have happened. If that would have been happening maybe a little bit more, maybe it would have changed it, but I doubt it. Then you guys would just say, well, it's because they whooped them and disciplined them and spanked them, punished them. You're abusive because you're pussies. Something's got to be done about all these little dumb, retarded fucking kids running around here.
About to deliver their verdict. Ethan Crumbley was 15 years old at the time of the shooting. Both Jennifer Crumbley and her husband are accused of ignoring what the prosecution calls obvious warning signs that their son needed help. Now, the husband, the father...
There is no obvious warning signs. All, especially little boys, they do little fucking violent sounding shit. They draw shit like that.
Tried separately. Let's listen to the court.
You cannot lock up parents for not being psychiatrists. You should have known there was something mentally wrong. Man, I don't have a PhD. I'm not a goddamn doctor. I'm not a, you know what I mean? I don't know any of that shit. You cannot blame a parent for not knowing the clear warning signs of what you consider mental illness. You guys consider everything mental illness.
Are you that person?
I am.
Could you please read your verdict?
Individually?
Sure.
Okay. On count 1 of involuntary manslaughter as to Madison Baldwin, we find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter. On count 2 of involuntary manslaughter in regards to Tate Muir, we find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter. On count 3, as to involuntary manslaughter regarding Hannah St. Juliana, we find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter. And in count 4 of involuntary manslaughter against Justin Schilling, we find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
Thank you for allowing me to be seated. And I'm going to...
An historic moment in this country.
It's so fucking crazy. It is a historic.
The school shootings we have witnessed as a country again.
So that's what we're going to get from this point on. Anytime your kid goes to school and commits a crime, now you're going to be punished as a parent. Can you believe this shit?
For that many hours?
Here's the jury, the spokesperson.
The thing that really hammered it home is that she was the last adult with the gun. And that's where I'll end my...
She was last with the gun. The mother of Oxford appeared stunned after she was found guilty. She was the last adult with the gun, is why the jury sentenced her. She was the last adult to touch the gun. She faces up to 60 years for a murder she did not commit. Now, I have no doubt that these two parents were complete sacks of shit. But should they be charged with murder when they themselves did not murder or plan to murder anyone? Like I said, that fat woman was off sucking this dude's balls in the back of a goddamn car. So they got his little journal. I want help, but my parents won't listen to me, so I can't get any help. Did you ever think that sometimes they don't explain themselves well? Have you ever tried to talk to a kid? I have zero help for my mental problems, and it's causing me to shoot up the fucking school, he says in his journal. This is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. And like I said, I don't disagree. The thoughts won't stop. Help me. He wrote on a school assignment. Man. So the school knew it. They should have got him some help. But then again, once again, failing to be able to diagnose a little ugly motherfucker is not a crime. Not everybody is fucking doctors. And see, that's the problem that we have here. That is the problem that we have here, in my opinion. Look, I don't like this little ugly motherfucker, and I don't like the parents. I have a problem with the precedent that this sets. What about you guys? What do you think? I don't believe that... Look, man, because let me explain this to you. You guys are making it illegal to punish children. Every parent in America right now is scared to discipline their children because of what you guys are doing. There's parents going to jail for not letting their son chop their dick off and transition to a girl. I'm not joking. This is a real story. There are parents that are against the trans shit and will not let their kids transition, and they're going to jail for it. Being a parent today has to be the hardest and most fruitless job on the entire planet. You take away all their ability to actually grab control over their household, and then you still blame them when their kids do something illegal, even though you're the people that tell the kids that the parents ain't their only boss. They don't have to listen to the controlling dad shit like that. You see what I'm saying? You guys are the ones that tell them this shit. This is all bullshit to me, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. You wanted my opinion, there you have it. If you find what I do valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. Support the channel. I love you guys. Get the fuck out of here, man. This little ugly motherfucker and that fat ass bitch sucking off firefighters in the back of the car. The world is fucked up. Now people are going to jail for crimes they didn't commit because people they know committed them. This is bullshit.